Watch closely. This old man's eyes hold the gaze of a sniper. One glance was all it took for him to tell the guy in front of him was a total player. Maggie said goodbye to her new boyfriend, walking home with a skip in her step, but as soon as she reached the door, the old man spoke.
He's not for you. He's a weak man with no self-control.
How can you tell that from 30 feet away?
You learn a lot about a man through the scope of a sniper rifle. He will not be calling you.
Oh, yeah. He absolutely will be calling me.
Ever. He will never be calling you.
Maggie refused to believe him, shooting back defensively that there was no way. She looked amazing today and wanted to bet.
I cannot bet on a certainty. It is against my principles.
She rushed inside and fired off a text right away, but minutes turned to hours, and her phone stayed silent, with the old man's words ringing non-stop in her ears. The next morning, Maggie lingered by the elevator, hoping to sneak out before he noticed.
Any news from Mark?
No, I haven't even checked. It's not my whole life.
Have a good day, Miss Mitchell.
Yep, you too.
And once outside, she checked her phone again, still radio silence. Maggie didn't give up on finding love, and soon enough, she met Charlie, a charming British guy. She gushed about how much she loved reading, saying she could finish a book in a single day, which shocked Charlie. He admitted he was lucky to get through one a year. Clearly, they were on two totally different pages, but Maggie was already swept off her feet by his looks. She mustered up the courage to invite him over, feeling a twinge of guilt as she passed the old man, whose eyes locked onto Charlie, sharp as a sniper's scope, like a father sizing up his daughter's date. The next morning, Maggie woke up to an empty bed, panic setting in that he might be just another deadbeat who'd ghosted her without a word, but she peered out the window to see Charlie heading back with breakfast, waving cheerfully at the old man. Maggie sighed in relief, thanking her lucky stars she'd finally met a good guy, but just then, her phone rang. It was the old man.
It's empty-headed. You are a very bright woman with a PhD. I'm only thinking of your interests.
Maggie groaned, annoyed, convinced he just wanted her to stay single forever. Months later, Maggie wandered the park alone, Charlie long gone. Just another fleeting chapter in her life. But fate had a cruel twist in store. She was pregnant. Maggie was completely thrown for a loop, sitting there with tears streaming down her face, unsure who to call. The father who'd vanished, her parents? In the end, she didn't dial any of them, running straight to the old man and breaking down in his arms because to her, he was family. Maggie wanted to terminate the pregnancy, unable to bear the thought of raising a child without a complete family. But the old man stopped her, telling her never to make a decision out of fear, one that she'd regret for the rest of her life, and that she had to take responsibility for her own future. He told her to get some rest, that tomorrow was a new day, and Maggie thanked him, grateful for his constant watchful care.
But you're no longer alone.
The next day, Maggie tracked down Charlie and told him she was pregnant, leaving him fumbling for words, clearly caught off guard. Maggie ended up comforting him instead, saying she was going to have the baby and would respect it if he didn't want to be involved, and Charlie let out a huge sigh of relief.
Okay, great.
After her prenatal checkup, Maggie hopped on her bike to head home, and for the first time ever, the gentle old man looked genuinely upset.
Oh my God, Guzmin, that's the first time I've heard you really angry, I think.
He said sharply that she was wearing a helmet, but what about the baby inside her? His concern making Maggie's heart warm. She pulled out the ultrasound photo and handed it to him, and he stared at the blurry black and white image, his eyes brimming with untold stories.
It's like the whole universe in there.
Maggie caught the flicker of loneliness and joy in his eyes, tearing off the photo and giving it to him, and he took it carefully, tucking it into his shirt pocket like it was a priceless treasure. Weeks turned into months, and Maggie's belly grew rounder with each passing day, with the old man being her rock during her entire pregnancy, always there when she needed him. Finally, the day of labor arrived, but Charlie was nowhere to be found. Fear and anxiety washed over Maggie, leading to a difficult delivery, and alone and in agony. She almost gave up hope, but then she thought of the old man, a wave of calm washing over her, realizing he'd become her anchor without her even noticing it. Maggie was discharged from the hospital a few days later, with the old man carrying the baby basket, moving slowly and gently, as if he was holding the entire world, holding his breath to avoid jostling the sleeping infant or letting the noisy traffic disturb her peaceful slumber. Seasons changed, but the old man's watchful care never wavered, stepping into the role of doting grandpa and loyal caregiver, and the three of them together were a picture of pure, warm happiness. One day, Maggie got some exciting news, a job offer in Los Angeles, thousands of miles away. She rambled on about how much she hated the city, but the old man saw right through her. He knew she was thrilled.
When are you leaving?
She'll miss the city, and this building, and you.
Excuse me.
For the first time, the tough, military-style old man couldn't hold back his emotions, swallowing his sadness and letting it fade into the night. And Maggie looked at him, seeing the father figure he'd always been, tears filling her eyes. 5 years passed in the blink of an eye, and Maggie was back in town with a new boyfriend. The men she'd dated having come and gone, but the old man being the one she'd never stopped missing. Nervous as ever, she brought her new boyfriend to meet him, and her boyfriend shifted awkwardly, clearly intimidated.
I hear I have to pass some sort of test.
You passed me.
Cool. What did I do?
Nothing. I saw it in her eyes. The moment I saw her. I was never looking at the man, Maggie. I was looking at your eyes.
The little baby who'd once slept soundly in the basket had grown into a lively, giggly little girl, hopping out of the car and darting straight into the old man's arms. At the end of the day, the three of them visited the Natural History Museum together, and that ultrasound photo, the one that held the whole universe, as he'd said, was hanging somewhere he could see it every single day. Eyes are the windows to the soul, because when it comes to love, whether it's there or not, you can always see it in someone's gaze. May your winter be warm and bright.